Okay, thank you, everybody, and welcome to Protective and Emergency Services Committee, July 24th at 12:05, I believe. We're going to call the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda. Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by...
Second, and Mr. Chair, can I just under new business?
Yes.
I did speak to the chief about it, Chief of Police Brad McConnell, and it's just to put it on the agenda for the next committee meeting, and that is the taxi bylaw regarding this. I spoke to the chief about it regarding accessible taxi. There's an agreement with, I believe, it's called Resourceability, which was the old Council of Persons with
Yes.
Council with Persons with Disabilities. Anyways, I just want to put that on and just deal with the next. What's that? Yes, and just.
You want to have a scheduled meeting with these people, right?
Yeah, just inform the committee what's going on. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, declarations of conflict of interest. We see none. Approval of the previous draft minutes, June 19th, 2024. Moved by your worship, second by Deputy Mayor Yankoff. Any business arising from those minutes? We see none. That's good. Okay, we're going to go right to the reports. Before we do, I got a call from Councillor Beck, who sits on this committee. He's going to be a couple of minutes late, but he's certainly going to try and get here. Okay, operational report. I believe Fire Chief, we're going to go with you, since Kent's not here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and your worship. This operational report is covering June 1st to 30th inclusive. Quickly run down our total fire inspections, 21 general fire inspections, 16 inspections with hazardous compliance orders issued, 1 inspection closed out, occupancy closed, plan reviews, permits, and consultations of 2, 3 fire investigations, and 11 education sessions or fire drills spread around the community. Emergency responses, we had 84 during the month. Station 1 had 39, Engine 1 from 8 to 4 had 14, and the Engine 1's from 12 to 8, 2, and Station 2, 29. Training. Our regular weekly training was completed at the end of June and will begin again at the 1st of September. But in that time, with the school being quiet, we have found other sources of training out there. So we have 8 members currently registered and beginning their Blue Card Incident Command training, which will up our numbers twofold. Also, during this period, several firefighters attended the Fire Department Information Conference. The FDIC is the largest fire industry training conference in Atlantic Region, Canada. There is an international held every year down in Indianapolis, down in the States, and we will be in the future looking at possibly sending somebody down to those. But this FDIC, we sent over 10 people this year, and great training by all involved. The department also had participants. We were up and back to the Maritime Fire Chiefs Leadership Conference this year. It was held in Summerside. This year's conference focused on areas such as environmental change and emergency management during climate-related incidents. A lot of lessons learned through the past years out of Ontario and also here on our own province with the Fire Marshal or Fire Marshal's office presenting, I believe, on Fiona follow-up. This report is simply for information only and maintains our commitment to transparency through strength, accountability, and trust. And that concludes the report, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chief. Any questions to the Chief? Deputy Chief, or Deputy Mayor, you're okay? Your worship?
Mr. Chair, I know it's not in the report, but it's, again, just going back to FUS. That is hopefully August, September. And then I was just asking, I want to just, any follow-up on our EMO, catastrophic climatic changes? Are we working on something that we can use instead of declaring a state of emergency to assist anyone that may be suffering from heat within the heat dome? We haven't had that yet, but it's been somehow.
Definitely come across the country, Your Worship, yes. First on fire underwriters, yes, once again, just working on accumulating the data that's missing from our previous records, but we are still on the timeline at this point. And with the other question in regards to emergency measures or weather-related events, we are working through that as a senior leadership group. Met last week with a couple of members of the senior leadership team as we're starting to put some plans to paper here in regards to how the city can better serve its residents.
Mr. Chair, just a quick follow-up. Fire Chief Mamie, our CAO put out a request on identifying top priorities for bylaw changes. I have put the EMO on top of the category that it was in for amendments that are required because it's pretty outdated. So I just want to put that on your plate. And so the FUS, we're looking at, again, timeline August or September? You can
We're
answer-
on the same timeline for late August, Your Worship.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Any other questions for the fire chief? We're good? Okay, let's move to police. Police Chief Brad McConnell.
Thank you, Chair. I have three reports in the package. The first is relating to the inventory of abandoned and uninhabited buildings within the city. Certainly, the purpose of the report is to provide committee and council with an update of the inventory of these buildings. So currently, there are 6 on the list. I can give you a list of the ones that are still active. Is 31 Kirkwood Drive, PID 397083, 83 Houston Street, PID 355925, 235 Richmond Street, PID 340703, 148 Upper Prince Street, PID 369405, 54 Maple, I don't have a PID number for that, and 2224 Chestnut Street, PID 355958. Should be noted that Fire and Bylaw Services are in the process of investigating additional properties on Sydney Street. If these properties are determined to be classified as vacant, they will be added to the list. And it also should be noted that the hazard compliance order can be issued under the fire bylaw once the building has been secured after 18 months. 5.9 under the Dangers, Hazards, and Unsightly Premises bylaw allows this to be referred to council to be ordered to be repaired or demolished. And that's my first report, Chair.
Thank you, Chief. Do we have the timeline on these properties? Like, how far are we into these files? Are we in 12 months, 6 months, 14 months? Because we go to 18 months, am I correct saying that? And then we can sort of make a decision?
That is correct, Chair. I think our previous reports had indicated kind of the breakdown. I think, but from the feedback we had received that we might have been too much detail. This is why we condensed it. But if there's an interest in any of these, I could probably get you that information. Our second report.
Anyway, oh, so, sorry, Chief.
So,
Sorry.
Mr.
Sorry,
Chair,
Worship.
just on the report, thanks, Chief. I know that the abandoned building that was out on Oakland Drive, Bonnie Blink Roundabout, the Bonnie Blink subdivision, that has been removed, as you know, and it was removed by the provincial government, and they cut it in half, transported it out to Harrington to be part of a Habitat for Humanity donation and covered all the cost. And Habitat for Humanity was in to speak with the Standing Committee on Public Works, and hopefully they'll be coming back to our Standing Committee on Finance and Administration to look at some possible lands. And the reason I bring that up, 54 Maple Avenue, that is the old Mrs. Doucette house, and I think that is out to tender, Mr. Chair, I believe.
I believe we're trying to put the tender out to sell the property, I think, CAO owner. Am I correct on that one? Yes. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and there's a couple of others on Mount Everett
Yes.
Road. 83 Houston Street, that is the Houston Street Irving Station. That is an active file with the city and Urban Energy. As you knew, there was an inadvertent leak on what was going on, so that is, being dealt with. And 2224, I think the chair was talking about if there's, if the windows, doors are boarded, that there's an 18-month timeline there before we can go in and take action. And I just want to thank the chief and the police and Todd Sutcliffe, you know. The list started, and slowly the list is getting closer and closer to the end. And big thanks to police services, protection services for carrying out. Thanks.
And our fire department too. And the only thing is that, as the mayor stated earlier, we have our bylaw priorities that we wanted to do. And I know I've been, as you heard me talk, put it right up to the top of the chart where we can change that bylaw to sort of take out the middleman. So our fire inspector and our bylaw officer can go in and do their job without sort of coming back to us every month or 6 weeks. So let's hope that our CAO is listening to that one, that we can push that to the top. Thank you. Okay, Chief?
Thank you, Chair. My second report is regarding the dangerous, hazardous, and unsightly bylaw infractions. We have 5 properties in Charlottetown cleaned up in accordance with the dangerous, hazardous, and unsightly bylaw. The staff recommendation was to give the Public Works Manager authorization to cut grass, remove trees, garbage, and other materials of debris, dangerous or otherwise, clean up and properly dispose of the same at the property's expense at 19 Ashburn Crescent, 3 Hudson Court, 19 Liberty Crescent, 14 Maple Avenue, 62 Highland Avenue, in accordance with the terms of the dangerous, hazardous, and unsightly bylaw of the city of Charlottetown. Is there any questions, Chair, about that report?
So this be going with the resolution to go to council? Is what we're looking at, to have,
That's correct.
yeah, so Public Works can go in and, with these properties. Okay,
That's the request. The council give the Public Works Manager authorization to do that.
okay. Do well, go ahead, your worship.
I think the deputy wants to go.
I was just gonna move it.
Second it. And with the resolution on the floor, Mr. Chair, I think, Chief, if we are planning a meeting on Monday, noon hour, for a presentation on T3 transit system. So if you want to put that forward, we could add that to the agenda because
Okay.
it could make it move
Jill, you make a
quicker.
note of that over there, Jill?
And hopefully with the new summary offense ticketing bylaw, this would mitigate all this going back and forth. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. That's a good point, your worship, there with our meeting Monday, so.
Yep.
And this is what we all been preaching, the more we can speed things up and sort of clean it up, instead of waiting 6 to 8 weeks, we'll be laughing. Okay, Chief?
Thank you, Chair. My third and final report is also in relation to the dangerous, hazardous, and unsightly bylaw infractions. The purpose of this report is to have one property in Charlottetown cleaned up in accordance with the dangerous, hazardous, and unsightly premises bylaw. In accordance with that bylaw, the City of Charlottetown, we request that the City of Charlottetown authorize the Public Works Manager, or City Council authorize the Public Works Manager to the Public Works Manager to be authorized to exterminate wildlife from that said building and secure building from further access of wildlife, dispose of the same at the owner's expense, and otherwise clean up the property and properly dispose of the same at the owner's expense at the following properties located at 295 Richmond Street, PID 341172. A warning was posted at that location on 30th of May. Pictures were taken. Saturday action to resolve the issue was not taken at that time, so this is why the request has come forward today.
Thank you, and maybe we can sort of put this in with the other ones going Monday, is that possible? To have it start right off Monday for 295 Richmond Street? Everyone in agreement with that, your worship, and Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so we need a motion to move that on too?
Second.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor and second by Mayor Brown. Thank you.
That concludes my reports, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Just going back to my schedule here, and I think that's sort of it. And a heartbeat. There's Counselor Beck. Any new business?
Under the agenda, approval of the agenda?
Yes.
Accessible taxi, we know we got a past history with it. And then again, Chief, I just want to put this on, I'm getting emails, text messages, Facebook messages about the e-scooter situation. So I just want to put it there for discussion.
Yeah.
And it's not just the rentals, it's in general, it's getting to be an issue again, and, well, I shouldn't say again, it's continuing on.
Okay. You'll make a note of that, Chief, that we will have a discussion in the next meeting over.
Chair, your worship, yes. And in the interim, while we're putting out for discussion, we have allocated additional resources to try to step up the enforcement in that area.
Okay.
Okay, just one thing.
Yes, Councilor.
I would say the usage of helmets is about 20%, I would think. In general, just of everyone, like.
On bicycles? and-
Bicycles,
Yeah,
everything.
no, I agree. I fully agree.
There's, I actually just saw some biking down the street. Saying, I understand it's a question of resources and all that, Chief, I get that. I think just as a FYI that it's in all aspects. It's not just the rentals, it's personal usage of all kinds. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and you're exactly right, we all see it. So we're gonna have that discussion at our next meeting, and maybe Melissa or somebody can come in.
Yeah, and the
Sergeant Craswell?
the reason I'm bringing it up, Chair, just as Councillor Beck stated, it's not just the rentals, it's right across the board.
Yep.
And just the other night, Chief, I don't know if you saw the national news with the Sikhs that went from Edmonton to Yellowknife on their motorbikes. They're requesting that provinces waiver wearing helmets if you wear the Sikh garb, headdress. So, we're having lots of challenges. And you have to remember, we have a system, it's called Medicare. So that's free medical service for anyone across this country. Now, if you live in the United States, you get a private, you want to drive around with no helmet on, then you better have private insurance. I just think that this keeps coming up, and
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to get a handle on it, so we'll have more discussion on that at our next meeting. Okay, motion to adjourn. Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by your worship, thank you.